Hello, everyone. It's the Friday edition of Travel the World. As a speaker, I'm your host, Phylecia Jones, and tonight we're going to talk about social media marketing for speakers. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a good one. So take some notes, okay? So I'm just so excited because I'm coming to you live here on Instagram and YouTube, and we're going to definitely dive deep into this one. Of course, the show is brought to you by iFind You Close. If you are needing speaking opportunities, I want you to go check us out at ifindyouclose.com. Every Monday, we send out a new batch of opportunities for those of you who are wanting to market your business, travel the world, do all kinds of things with speaking. So go check us out at ifindyouclose.com. Now, what we do here on the show is I actually talk about the two things I love, and that is travel and speaking, and how we can leverage traveling. We can leverage speaking so that we can travel. And I usually give you a travel story, and then I jump into the topic. Now, I have to tell you, I have been working my butt off. So my travel stories are not on the top of my head. And I think I told you about some of the cooler travel stories. So I'm going to talk about one of my favorite places that I have visited so far. I mean, I have a lot of favorite places, but maybe it's not a favorite. I don't know. I can't really decide. If you travel a lot, you get into this thing of like, you don't really know what's your favorite because they're all just beautiful. But I have to say Santorini, Greece. Oh my gosh. I actually was just playing around with some photos, updating the website, and I chose a stock photo from Santorini, Greece. Absolutely love it. I mean, they have bougainvilleas everywhere. It's white, it's blue, and I'm talking about the islands. Santorini, Mykonos, I loved all of them. But one of the things that was so cool about Santorini, one is that it is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Drop dead gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything so pretty. The water is blue. It's just, man, now I want to get on an airplane and flex my passport, which I haven't used in over a year. Oh my gosh. But, you know, I have not had a speaking engagement in Santorini, Greece, but that would be nice. So for any of you who lands a speaking gig in Santorini, please call me, because I will go, I will hold your bags, I will take your photos, I will get the testimonials, I will be your videographer, I will be all the things. But Santorini is one that was my first experience with Greek yogurt, honey, and nuts. Oh my gosh. And for somebody who's lactose intolerant, that's like the best thing I've ever done in my life. It was worth it. So Santorini, just walking around, it was beautiful. I think I went it was August of, no, I think it was like September. It was a while ago. So I'm hopefully I can take my husband back. One of the most beautiful islands I've ever visited. It's relaxing. I will say this. It's not like Mykonos, which is the party island. Santorini is definitely, if you got a boo, or you need to get a bae, if you got a boo and you're booed up, you will do well in Santorini. If you're kind of single, 1 or 2 days is enough. And then after that, because it's one of those like laid back, sit, watch the sunset, go out to dinner type places, but absolutely gorgeous. Great place if you need to de-stress. All right, so that is Santorini, Greece. So let's go ahead and talk about today's topic, and that is social media marketing for speakers. So remember, when we are out there trying to leverage speaking so that we can travel, we have to kind of cover all of the bases. Now, I'm going to talk about just a few things that will definitely help you out when it comes to social media marketing. I will let you know I am not a social media queen. I just know how to do just enough. But I can't, I hire people to help me out here with the company. But if you're just starting out, just like I did, you got to do this on your own. And I'm not going to talk about all the things you need to post. I'm just going to talk about what you need to do in reference to you as a speaker. So the first, this is number one. You need to be consistent on all of your social media channels. I don't care which ones you use. Just make sure they are consistent. Make sure all of the photos are professional, meaning I don't want to go to your LinkedIn page and you have this ultra professional photo, and I go to Facebook and you're like, hey, unless all of them are like that. But and there's a reason why I want you to do this, because sometimes people will grab photos from everywhere. So you want to make sure that it's a photo that is approved by you and not like, okay, where did you get that one from? So make sure all of your social channels are consistent. I mean, and when I say consistent, consistent bio, consistent name. Some of us, who have changed our names, you got to be a little bit more consistent. Consistent photos, or at least professional photos. You can have varying bios. You don't have to have the exact same bio, but you got to make sure it's consistent. Hey, Dr. Joe Johnson, how you doing over there in Instagram land? We are doing Travel the World as a Speaker. This is my live show that I do every day, and we're talking about social media marketing for speakers. So like I said, the very first thing is you have to be consistent. I want to make sure your photos are consistent. Your bios are consistent. Everything is consistent across all channels, from TikTok to Instagram. Because one of the things I have seen when I go out there and look at all of these websites and everything, I will see a bio on LinkedIn that is completely different than a bio on a website. And for those of you who have 9-to-5 jobs, I totally understand. You may not be ready to put your side hustle on your LinkedIn page, but here's the deal. A lot of events, they are only choosing speakers by their LinkedIn page. So you got to make that choice on whether or not you want to use LinkedIn, and not necessarily you got to go on there and post all the time, but I just want to make sure everything is consistent. Also, you can do testimonials on LinkedIn on all of your channels. So make sure everything is consistent. That's the first thing. Okay. Consistency. The second thing is make sure you put speaker in your bio. Yeah. Or whatever your expertise is. So if you are a leadership expert, if you are a communications strategist, make sure that you are put that somehow, some way in your bio, so people can be very clear, like, okay, this is somebody who is a professional speaker, keynote speaker, motivational speaker, transformational speaker, something that just says you are a speaker. Especially for those of you who are starting out, you got to send out the signals, bat signals, because if your cat and dog are the only people who know you speak, you are not going to get booked. Just saying. Unless you have something that's very, very unique. Hey, superstar, how you doing? Oh, we got comments here on Instagram. We got comments on YouTube, because we're doing both. Hey, Annette on YouTube, how you doing? Side note, you look great in pink. Thank you. I look amazing in pink. Adidas, hit me up so I can be a brand rep for you. Thank you. I don't have enough pink. I used to rent my clothes when I was going out speaking, and I haven't had to rent clothes since last year. So I don't have enough pink in my wardrobe. But all right, so we've talked about being consistent on social media. The second thing is make sure you put speaker in your bio, okay? Make sure you got to just send out the signals that people know that you are a speaker. The third thing is, now here's something very interesting, and I'm really going to lean into LinkedIn, Facebook, and for those of you on YouTube, you know that section that says description, and you put in the 2 sentences, like, yo, I'm Dr. Joe, I'm amazing, book me. And it says that you have 500 words. I need you to start filling it all out. I just got clued in today. I am guilty of this. My friend, every Friday we sit here and we have a chat about business and, I don't know, K-pop. And she is a social media expert. And she was like, look, all of those things count as keywords. All of those things count as keywords. Okay. So Dr. Joe, keywords. So, and we've had this talk, I've had the video for you, but on LinkedIn, on YouTube, all of those things count. They are your SEO. So you got to make sure your bio, your descriptions, all of that stuff is working for you. You have to make sure it's working for you, because if you ever decide to run ads for your speaking, if you ever decide to do anything, or if somebody's just searching for you, you want to make sure that you're dominating in the searches on Google. And remember, YouTube, Google, they're friends, okay? But make sure even on LinkedIn, when it says you got 500 words in that description, use all 500 of those words, okay? Even on Facebook, your Facebook business page, they are all keywords. And remember, I'm not an SEO person, but all of this stuff works together, Dr. Joe is saying he uses 20 words. So if it says that you've used 20 of your 500, I need you to go find 480 more words. Okay. We got to make sure all this stuff is flushed out. Annette is asking, what in your opinion is the difference between motivational and transformational speaker? You probably shouldn't ask me personally. I don't think there is much of a difference. I think it's just what we call ourselves. And I know some people will say motivational is that I'm here to inspire the audience to live their best life. And the transformational is that I am here to make you transform from point A to point B. What I do know is if you are a motivational speaker, you need to use motivational speaker. So remember all of these cute words that all of us use. The people who are booking speakers don't use those words. People understand what a motivational speaker is. People understand what a keynote speaker is. Sometimes people don't know what a transformational speaker is, and we don't know, and we may know what they may know inspirational speaker, but if you go do your keywords, most people are going to look up motivational speaker, okay? That's the thing you got to pay attention to. All of these keywords, especially if you want people to search for you. All right. And whichever one you choose, be consistent. If you're going to say transformational speaker, you better stay consistent. Me personally, I say move over to motivational speaker, but be consistent. Unless you are a leadership speaker, a communication speaker, then you be consistent in those areas. Okay. So we've talked a little bit about social media. Be consistent. Be consistent. All right. Make sure speaker somewhere in your bio, motivational speaker. If you're a keynote speaker, if you're an international speaker, you could do that too. You could do expert virtual speaker. You could put those things, but I want to make sure we start putting speaker in those titles. But at the end of the day, I want to still make sure you showcase your expertise, because speaker, sweetie, there's so many people who call themselves speakers that need to sit down. Okay. But we got to still put that just keywords for people. I'm pretty sure I thought your third thing, I don't remember. I'm making this up as I go. But your third thing is all of those descriptions on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Use all of the words, okay? All of the words. They are keyword strategies for you. The fourth thing is, please, for the love of all that's holy, pay to get a headshot, okay? And make sure you don't have to have a whole bunch of branding photos. Make sure your photo is not from 10 years ago. Because we don't all look the same from 10 years ago. I know. Yes, Dr. Joe. Please, 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 please. Just pay for a headshot, okay? You'd be surprised how many people get selected just from a headshot, all right? Just from a headshot. So I want you to pay the money, get a headshot. I know your friend can do mean things with the cell phone. But just pay the $150, pay $250, negotiate whatever, get you a really good headshot, okay? And that's it. Get you a headshot, get you one on stage if possible, get you a full body shot. I just want your photos to be consistent everywhere you are doing things. So it doesn't look like, you remember that little challenge where we were like, here's my Tinder profile. I'm married, so I don't have one. I've never even been on Tinder. Any of you on Tinder? No, I haven't been on it. Okay. Make sure, your profiles kind of look the same and not too varying. And, don't have braids in one and short hair in another one, and then long flowy hair in another photo. This is just something I've learned from my professional cheerleading days. You need to be the same, because people need to be able to recognize you, and they kind of need you to look like your picture. So that's why I want your photo to be up to date and kind of the same across all social channels, because I don't want to book you and you were that was your 25-year-old hot girl summer photo, and then it's 20 years later and it's not that you're not cute, but it's oh, that looks really different. Because I see that a lot when I've booked speakers, and it's you look really different than you've been using that photo for the last 30 years. Let's go ahead and update that, all right? And the final thing is, what's the final thing when it comes to social media? Actually use it. I know, use it. Choose one. 75 pounds later, yes, I know, it happens. We get a little fluffy. We eat all the cookies last year. I ate them. Annette is saying, LOL on the 10-year headshots. If it didn't even occur to me that people use old photos. Yeah, the Tinder thing. I am not on, but I have friends that say it's very deceiving. Yeah, there's a lot of speakers who have old photos. It's very interesting. Very, very, even some of the people, I'm not gonna even lie, some of the people who get paid a lot of money to speak, we booked a big name speaker here in Colorado. She owns a big name team, and the photo she's using, you could definitely tell like when she was 30 years old. And so when you see her in person, like, you look different, just a little bit older, I could tell this photo is like from 25 years ago. So yeah, so just make sure you do that. And I can definitely tell you she's being booked off her reputation and being the owner of a team, that type of thing. So what was my fifth thing? I forgot. Use social media. Choose one platform, and I will highly recommend making sure you use your LinkedIn platform. Whatever platform you use, make sure you use LinkedIn as well. And what I want you to do is make sure people know that you are a speaker. You'd be surprised, just because we do things and just because we are out there, a lot of people still don't know what we do. Now, I was on a national television show, and I was in the room with people for like over a year. They still didn't know I did that. So you have to tell people that you speak. That's one of the cool things about social media. I landed an MC gig just by posting a photo like, oh my gosh, my first MC gig. And somebody like, yeah, you do that. Can you come do mine? Yes, I can. So you have to tell people that you are actually out there speaking, and you have to show proof. If you have proof, if you have photos of you on stage, make sure you drop one of those every week or so, just to kind of remind people, oh, you do speak about this. Okay. You got to remember, a lot of us, we don't process things as soon as we see them. We may need to see it over and over and over again. And, I've had friends that have told me what they do, and like 2 years later, it's like, well, what is it that you do? You would be surprised. Okay. Yeah. So, and Dr. Joe is saying people get booked to speak, not based on their speaking skills. Oh, you ain't never lied. Because I've seen some people on stage and it's like, huh, interesting. So make sure you remind people that you're out there speaking, that you have the credibility. I personally prefer seeing photos of you on stage. They're like, oh my gosh, you actually do speak. I had a story from a friend a while ago. She said, she's been speaking for years. Her friend runs a conference, and she got her feelings hurt because she said, you know what, you would think my friend would come and ask me to speak. And I said, before you get your feelings hurt, I'm going to ask you one question. Does your friend know that you're a speaker? And she said, well, I told her 5 years ago. Like, people don't remember anything from 5 years ago. And you probably told me after my third glass of wine. I don't remember that. So you have to remind people, even on social media. Even your parents may not even know that you're a speaker. So you have to kind of keep reminding people what you do. That's why I want you to use social media, but only after you've gotten consistent on all of your platforms. Please be consistent on your platforms. And the other reason I want you to think about social media marketing is that we need to kind of start diversifying how we're making money as speakers. Remember, you're kind of an influencer. There's some things you can do, and we can talk about that on another day. But I just want you to be consistent. Make sure you're using all of the words you can those are keywords. They're helping you. They're tagging you. I just got like a whole education in SEO today. Trust me, you're going to want to use all the words, all right? Especially if you're doing things on YouTube. Just saying. Make sure you pay for that professional headshot. Make sure your photos are all there. Make sure your bios are all together. Make sure you use social media. For those of you who are Canva users, you can now post directly to social media from Canva. You don't have to download and then post. You can go straight to Canva to your social media. So like Dr. Joe, you load up your photos in Canva, put a heading on it, go into the little section where it says schedule it out to LinkedIn, and just say, hey, everybody, just reminding you, or do those Throwback Thursdays. Throwback Thursday to when I rocked the stage in front of 5,000 kids. You know what? Throwback Thursdays, Flashback Fridays are amazing for speakers to remind people of what you did. And just talk about your excitement of being able to share your message. So please, please, please use social media. And I got word that Pinterest is a thing. It's not my thing, but it actually does work. Annette is asking, one of the best compliments I got last year when I met someone in person. She commented that I actually look like how I present myself on Instagram. It didn't even occur to me that people don't. Yeah, Annette, that's the thing. And I will say, I always thought it was weird when I was cheerleading that was like one in our contract. However they made you look, like if my hair is black, then for the rest of the year, my hair had to be black. I couldn't let it grow. I couldn't cut it. And because their thing was, we want you to look exactly like the posters. And not saying that you have to look exactly the same, but you'd be surprised. People do want to be able to recognize you, and you want to be able to be recognized, so they'll go to your social media channel instead of like, like this you. Yeah, we want to make sure that that's not happening. All right, folks, I've been talking for a lot here. Dr. Joe, thank you for hanging out. Of course, if you have any more questions, make sure you put them in the comment box, okay? Here on Instagram, here on YouTube, I will make sure answers magically appear. Now, I know we're going to be doing this tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, because we live stream daily, because you know what? That's what I do nowadays. We're going to talk about how to make money. I don't remember exactly what the topic is, but usually on Saturdays, we talk about how to make money as speakers. And one of the biggest things I'm going to be on all of my speakers is that I need you to start diversifying how you are making money, because 2020 did a few things to a lot of people I know who are speakers, and you lost a lot of money. We want to make sure we never have that situation happen. So I want you to start diversifying. Think about all of these different ways. All of these talks that you have, that we can record them, turn them into courses, downloadables. We're going to make sure that we have multiple streams of incomes based on what we are doing as speakers. And we got to talk about audio. Audio as a speaker. Did y'all know? Oh, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. As a speaker, I'm hired by a community to just create courses for them. If you're not in on that game, oh my gosh, it's so cool. It is so cool. Annette says, so many good tips in such a short time. You always deliver. Thank you, Annette. You know I appreciate you. All right, folks, I got to go take off. I'm making cookies today. Why not? It's a blizzard coming here in Denver. So I'm going to make cookies and hunker down and watch scary movies. So Dr. Joe, thank you so very much for being here. I'm going to sign off here on Instagram first. So I will see you. I'll be texting you, but I'll see you soon. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. Have a good Friday. And for all of you here on YouTube, I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. And Annette, thank you so very much. So take care of yourself. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.